Good evening. I'm David Paulides. For years, my research has focused on cataloging a very specific, chilling pattern of disappearances across the continent, a phenomenon I call missing 411. These are not just simple missing persons cases you see on the news. They are defined by specific, unnerving factors that defy easy explanation. We're talking about remote locations, often strange weather events, and victims found in impossible circumstances, or sometimes never found at all. Tonight, we delve into two truly unsettling incidents that carry the undeniable signature of something other, something that operates outside the boundaries of accepted reality. Prepare yourself, because the deep wilderness holds secrets we were never meant to uncover. I often receive correspondence, letters, emails, sharing stories and theories that inevitably weave into the terrifying tapestry of the missing 411 mystery. One letter recently stood out. It presented a disturbing hypothesis regarding the motivation behind these vanishings. A gentleman wrote to me, deeply affected by the evidence. He viewed these missing people as being systematically targeted, not by a common criminal, but by something far more intelligent and advanced. He posed a chilling forensic question. Could an autopsy ever truly show if these men were forced to make a genetic contribution? He speculated that certain individuals are being removed for their specific genetic bloodlines and DNA markers, which trace back thousands of years. The motive is dark, even cosmic, to intentionally prevent them from becoming the next great mind, the next Isaac Newton, the next Stephen Hawking, the man who changes the course of human history. He concluded with this stark warning: we have a planetary predator that flies in, possesses technical capabilities beyond our current comprehension, and snatches inferior humans for some obscure, ungodly purpose. This leads us straight to the persistent, often ignored connection between the missing 411 cluster and verifiable UFO disappearances or alien abduction reports. People vanish without a trace, only for strange lights or silent aerial activity to be reported in that exact, precise region. Let's turn to a recent case that clearly exhibits the terrifying clusters we document. A classic missing 411 scenario about a man who woke up where he simply shouldn't have been. Shashank, an inexperienced 3-4-year-old, decided to try backpacking alone on the remote Lost Coast Trail in Northern California. It's a rugged, beautiful, but very isolated stretch of coast. On July 1st, around 10 p.m., while alone in his camp, he reports hearing a distinct, unidentifiable, strange noise. It was not an animal sound or a human voice. It was disturbing enough to make him grab his bear spray and his knife. Then, silence. He reported losing consciousness completely. Almost 11 hours of verifiable missing time vanished from his memory like a chapter torn from a book. The next thing he remembers is regaining awareness at 8 a.m. the following morning. Not in his tent, but fully immersed in the freezing surf in the ocean. He dragged himself onto the beach, severely hypothermic, with inexplicable small cuts on his torso and throat. He was later found by 2 passing trained counselors, incoherent and wet. Crucially, his tent, his entire backpack, his knife, and his bear spray were all gone, vanished. This incident screams of a missing 411 event. We have the missing time, the inexplicable finding of a healthy male in deep water. A very sobering coincidence we have documented hundreds of times. Was he drugged? A medical event? He had no head injury. The only logical conclusion is that an entity capable of manipulation took him. This suggests a localized dimensional rift, or a force capable of suspending consciousness and removing material evidence with surgical precision. Now, let's look at an extreme historical case of geographical displacement. The disappearance of a Royal Canadian Air Force T-33 fighter trainer in 1956, carrying 2 highly seasoned pilots. The aircraft vanished on a routine training flight near Vancouver Island. The search was massive, focused on the coastal waters, exactly where the plane should have been, near Cortez Island. But the plane was not there, not even close. 18 years later, in 1974, a piece of the aircraft canopy was found in the Callahan Valley. The Callahan Valley is hundreds of miles east, completely inland, far away from the ocean, past massive mountains near Whistler, British Columbia. How does a fighter jet fly hundreds of miles off course without communication and then vanish? Adding to the mystery, in 1990, building contractors near the wreckage site reported seeing the unmistakable ghosts of two men in white military dress coats walking the grounds of the new lodge they were building. The apparitions of the lost pilots remain. This case suggests that the crew experienced an in-flight catastrophe, perhaps a sudden, localized time travel mystery, or an energetic phenomenon that transported the wreckage far from its flight path. The pilots clearly never survived the ordeal. Whether it's the unknown, cryptids rumored to inhabit that area, the aerial entities responsible for UFO disappearances, or some unknown paranormal activity rooted in the ancient mountains. The evidence points to an intelligent, powerful, non-human force. The missing 411 research has brought this dark reality into the public light, a reality where human beings are systematically examined, sometimes displaced, and often permanently removed from our world. If you dare to venture into the deep wilderness, always be prepared. Carry that satellite communication device. And remember the ultimate chilling lesson from the Lost Coast Terror. The true predator in the wild is not constrained by our simple, natural understanding of the world. This is David Paulides. Be safe, be aware, and God bless. We'll see you next time.